All right, let's bring in Jeff Yastine of Banyan Hill Publishing to react to that. You just heard Mark Roy striking to our own Jeff Flock about the fact that they are adding 1,000 jobs at the Flint plant, but they're cutting 4,000 white-collar jobs. Is this what Wall Street wants for the new direction of GM?
It most definitely does. Wall Street definitely wants this for General Motors. They want GM to be able to rationalize their best, most profitable assets. That means this heavy focus into SUVs and pickup trucks and really moving completely away from sedans, which is an ongoing trend in the U.S. industry in general. And the other part of it, as you mentioned, the white-collar workers being laid off. It's the focus on profitability and making sure GM can stay up with having lots of cash flow to support the dividend of the stock, as well as to reinvest back into the business. Because if there's anything about the car business, it requires a lot of capital to keep coming up with these updated models and what have you every year.
Well, U.S. sales were down a little more than 2.5% in the fourth quarter. They really had a problem in China, which is something that they've got to, we're assuming, going to address this morning when the earnings come out. China sales down 25% in the fourth quarter. Are you expecting more bad news for China?
I think we will see more of that in the GM call. As far as the impact on the stock, I don't think we're going to see that much. I think investors are largely sort of looking beyond these sorts of problems. We all know that China's economy has been slowing down. And of course, there have been fears so far unfounded about our own economy doing that. So all that's been sort of well factored into the decline that we saw in U.S. stocks and with GM stock going through into the end of the year, and a big rebound, 17-18% that we've seen in GM shares since the start of the year. So no, I don't see much impact in where it counts in the stock price.
No matter what, dealers are saying that they've got unsold cars, and you mentioned the sedans, but people love their trucks. They love diesel trucks, and that seems to be powering the numbers for GM. Even the electric vehicle production that they've been ramping up, it's the cash from the diesel cars that seems to be really helping the bottom line.
And in some ways, you can look at that, and I mean, it's a virtuous cycle so far. The concern here is, with this focus on pickup trucks and SUVs, if our economy at some point does slow, it's going to mean a big hit for General Motors. And of course, there's also an ongoing situation we see in the electric vehicle situation, as far as there's a huge number of new electric vehicles coming onto the market, not just from General Motors, but from a range of international automakers. And that's going to be a situation they're going to have to deal with.
Yeah. No matter how much the administration or the Republicans complain about job losses in the auto industry, it's what you want to buy, and it may not be an American car. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it, Jeff.
Thank you, Cheryl.